So I was already excited for Dune Awakening, but after watching the fourth live stream that Funcom put on today, which I've got playing in the background here, just as sort of filler content, I'm more excited than I was before. And I say this as someone who has spent more than a year in closed beta. I've done the beta preview event in April. We did the beta weekend. I've had a lot of hands-on time at this point, 100 plus hours. And I've had a lot of fun and I've seen a lot of things, but what's interesting to me about what was shown today was I have purposefully not allowed myself to progress beyond a certain point in the beta because I didn't want to spoil things for myself. So I've really just kept myself focused on testing the survival gameplay loop, the building gameplay loop, the early gameplay loop, because that's where I spend a lot of my time in any case, making beginners guides and stuff. But today was my first chance to take a look at what has been unfolding with the mid game and the late game. So, if you don't know my background, I approach most games as a single player. I'm a solo player, and I don't do PvP. I am a PvE Care Bear. So, one of the things that I was really excited to see today is the mid-game gameplay loop and the in-game gameplay loop, which are things above and beyond the storyline of the game. So, we got further confirmation today that you can solo 100% of everything in the game. Things will take you longer in terms of, I think they're going to roll up to a base here in a few minutes. Building bases, as an example, especially the types of bases that they show off in today's stream, those are the types of bases that you could build them by yourself, but they are going to take a lot of time to gather the resources together to build those structures. Whereas if you're working with a group of friends or a guild, you'll be able to build those things more quickly. But the confirmation of being able to do all the things in the game in terms of storyline and everything else solo, and then reconfirming that the deep desert is indeed, in fact, an optional in-game thing and that you don't need anything from tier 6, which is the deep desert, to complete the story of the game, which is really great to hear for those of us who have been going, well, what if I don't want to ever step foot into the deep desert? Is that going to impact my gameplay? And the reality is, no, it won't. Now, are there things you're going to want to get in the deep desert as a player, like sets of gear that look really cool that you're going to want because you want your character to look the best possible? Absolutely. But you will be able to purchase the items needed to make those pieces from other players on the exchange, which we got confirmation of today, or you can venture into the deep desert, which is split into a PvE section and a PvP section. So I'm just, I guess what really got me excited today more than anything else was honestly there was a point in the video when they were showing off the deep desert and they were showing like what it looks like when a guild is coming together and they've got multiple ornithopters going out to a spice blow, and you've got a transport ornithopter, you've got somebody driving that, you've got room for 5 passengers in that, you've got the spice harvester itself with somebody driving that, you've got multiple ornithopters looking for worm sign. You've got people down on the ground on sand bikes running around, placing thumpers around to distract the worms. This is the base, by the way. All of the coordination required to go do a spice blow. And while you're doing all of that, um, you're also having to worry about the potential for another group, whether it's their faction or another group of players. Um, but they also talked about the deep desert being so massive in terms of size. Um, it really got the creative juices flowing, and I literally said in the video, I was like, "Fuck you, Joel," in a laughing way. You're gonna get me to try PvP for the first time in my life, or at the very least, brave the deep desert to go partake in that activity because I really do, as a lover of the Dune books and of the IP and the films and everything else, I really am excited to see that. This is a great moment when Joel showed off a quality of life feature that they added based on feedback from the beta, by the way, which is over on the left. You can do a drop down. So any vehicles that you have parked in your house, you can do a drop down, and it'll switch the inventory over to that vehicle, and then you can pull that straight out to your storage chests, which is awesome. So that means as long as I can go out, do a harvest run, bring my vehicle back, jump out, run upstairs, grab a chest, start putting things in the chest or putting it straight into, and then especially once you get your refiners set up and everything else, really cool stuff here. Um, so my primary way of playing is almost always to focus on the story first. But there is a lot here beyond just a survival game and a story. There's all of the aspects of the base building and the vehicle building and the exploration of Arrakis and the scope and scale. And I'm kind of sitting here tonight recording this video and just thinking about things, and I'm actually reassessing my plans for Dune Awakening. And these are plans that I've had for more than a year. Um, and the reason for that is because I'm starting to see way more potential um, for what I have, what lays ahead of me, like the journey, the things I have available to me in Dune Awakening. And also knowing that this isn't all of it. Like they've got DLC already planned, and as they confirmed today, they're hoping to. I think it was Scott, the this guy, I think his name was Scott, was saying I believe they're going to be trying to do content drops every 3 to 4 months, and those are content drops that include free story that continues the main story of the game, separate from the DLC stuff, which Joel said was like side content and cosmetics. So knowing that they have additional story coming out every few months, um, and knowing that the base game out of the gate is going to, for me anyway, I'm not planning on rushing this game. Plus, I'm going to be playing Dune Awakening in between all the other projects I have going on. I anticipate this is going to turn into my next Star Wars Old Republic or Lord of the Rings Online. I don't play those games a lot anymore because I've already put in thousands of hours into those games. But I mean, we're talking, I've played both of those games since launch. And I have, up until the last couple of years, I still played them almost every single year for at least 2 or 3 months to just keep up with current content. I've got, probably 20 characters in each of those games that I've leveled up over the years. I've put a lot of time in MMOs over the years. And even though this isn't, it's not quite an MMO, it does have a lot of the MMO elements. And I really love Dune. It's the first time I've been able to see a Dune world, and I love these books as much as I love Star Wars and Middle Earth and everything else. So I'm excited. And knowing that this is just the beginning and that they've got the console launch coming in the pipeline, which is going to bring crossplay together, knowing that they've got private servers, like one of the things that I'm really interested about with private servers. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. So I previously said that I had no desire to start a guild, and I don't. I have no desire to start a guild and deal with PvP or any of that other stuff. But what I am excited about, like, I love the idea of having, and I don't know what they're doing with private servers yet. They haven't fully, they're supposed to be talking more about private servers soon. We have confirmation that private servers are coming. We just don't know how the private servers are going to work quite yet. But if they work anything like Enshrouded or Conan Exiles, essentially, or Valheim, you'll be able to set up your own private environment with you and your friends, and you're going to be able to go forth and have that journey in Dune Awakening with your friends. And I'm not willing to put in time on the public servers because I don't want to deal with PvP and stuff in like the end game because I just don't like PvP that much. But I do love the idea of going out and doing group-based activities and having fun with players. And if we're going to be able to do that in some sort of a private environment, I don't know how we would be able to do that and still participate in the Landsrat, or if I don't know how they're planning on having that work because the Landsrat does have some competitive elements to it that they want to maintain because that's what the Landsrat is about, with houses versus houses. So I'm not quite sure what the limitations are on the private server application, but I will say that because we did this with Enshrouded I think it was like 2 years ago in early access for Enshrouded, which has come a long way, by the way. If you haven't checked out Enshrouded recently, it's getting close to to full launch, and it's looking amazing. They've added so much stuff since we played together. But I had a lot of fun doing Enshrouded together. And that was a base building survival RPG exploration game as well. And so I can see now, like, my initial reluctance to do things with a group. Um, After having watched the videos today, I'm like starting to rethink that whole. The problem is I don't want to have to manage people is the thing. Like I've managed guilds. I did 25 years of managing guilds and raiding and everything else in MMOs, and I just don't have time for that anymore. The career that I have right now is very much focused on single player RPGs, occasionally doing some co-op stuff. Um, but I definitely feel the pull of what they showcased today with these massive structures that you can build, these really big bases. Matter of fact, I think they're going to come up on another base here in a minute, which is, I think Joel explained this is more of like a forward station base that he says is like on the border of like the controlling area, like where you've established a base and now you're trying to control the environment around there, to build to refine structures and to get your resources together to make your dives into the deep desert every week. So this is another big player built structure, and this is all taken care of. This is all with multiple groups. They're switching the POVs a lot here because we've got multiple players playing here, and they're all contributing to this. And this today, seeing all of this and seeing what lies beyond the main story of the game and all of this stuff with like exploring Arrakis, it's got my juices flowing a little bit, and I'm really excited for this game. Way more excited than I was before. I've always been excited to go explore Arrakis and sink my teeth into a Dune game, but now I'm actually sitting here going, damn it, maybe I do want to do. I just got to figure out how I could do the group-based stuff without dealing with the management side of things, because that's something I don't want to do. So, expect to hear more from me because I'm my plans are evolving for Dune, um, as we speak because of today's live stream and finally getting the chance to see the mid game and the late game, um, and realizing that I'm about to get sucked into this game way more than I thought I was originally. So stay tuned for more. Links are down below for all the other Dune Awakening videos I've done, the guides, news. There's some affiliate links down below as well. So if you decide you want to pre-order a copy, I get a direct kickback through those affiliate links. So yeah, check them all out. I'll see everybody in the next one. Let me know your thoughts on Dune Awakening down in the comments below. Stay safe out there, everybody.